What's up, all you beautiful people? It's your boy, the Vuvuzela here. It is episode 100, baby. 100 episodes of the Vuvuzela Victory Challenge coming at you right now. Not a traditional video, of course, no matches today. It's going to be a pretty much of a shorter video. Probably won't be more than 20 minutes or 15 minutes, but it is a full retrospect look at how we've journeyed from Arcadia Shepherds all the way until Liverpool, talking about some of the players that we've met along the way, my achievements along the way, and having a look at the Hall of Fame. For 100 episodes, you guys have stuck with me. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Here's to the next 100. Enjoy this episode. I had a lot of fun actually making it, going down memory lane. Run that intro. Welcome, ladies and gents, to the 100th episode of the Vuvuzela Victory Challenge. We're doing a little bit of a look back at over 100 episodes. Of course, next episode, we're getting Liverpool versus Man United, Community Shield, and Burnley. But for today, we are looking at the retrospect sense, I guess, of 100 episodes of the Vuvuzela Challenge. And it all started with this team. When we started off the series, it was supposed to be a one-season save where we kind of got stuck in a little bit of a loop, and it just kept regenerating, and just never actually did anything to get anywhere in this league. So made the conscious decision of helping us through this and try and get a little bit further on ahead. We started off with Arcadia Shepherds, started off in the 3rd division, the regionals, where on our second attempt in the regionals, we did manage to get promoted into the 2nd division, where we stayed stagnant for 4 seasons. We got highest as 2nd, and then you can see the next season we dropped all the way down to 7th. It was such a weird little league to be in. The team did pick up couple of trophies, but not obviously when I was around. They won a Telkom Cup when I was there. All right, they didn't. It was a very long time when Arcadia Shepherds. There you go. 1982-83, the first ever Arcadia Shepherds were the winners. So there you go. First ever champions of the Knockout Champions was in 1982 when they won the Knockout Challenge. Of course, MTN 8 is also probably a background there. You know, I think the Premiership was what, 1964, I just had to do that. 1986 and then 1982. So a good spread from there. In terms of their current squad, a couple of Angolans in there. Is there anyone here from when? Kevin is still at the club. He has done very well. Picked him up for free. He's actually done extremely well. Kevin. How old is he now? 27 years old. We picked him when he was 18 years old. Very good player for this league. Really, really did like the look of him. Anyone else that's still in here? Gerald Nkosi is still there as well. We did pick him up as well. He's been there for a while. We picked him up for free from Tigers. Played quite well. Managed to keep hold of him. That's nice to see. Anyone else that's still around? It's been a while since we've been there. Mbaso, that's Bongani Mbaso, not the same one. But yeah, those are the players, I guess. Any icons? Sibaya. Nkosati Sibaya. How did he become a legend? He wasn't that good. And he really wasn't. They should have had better ones. We can look at their transfer history. This is going to be quite insane. If we go all the way to the back, there's a few guys that I want to have a look at. The likes of like Ayanda. Still playing his football in South Africa at home defenders. Still decent little left back. Not bad little play. Moved from South Africa, went back to the regional leagues, recently got back to the Motsepe League, so shout out to Ayanda. Nicely done. Ayanda was a very good player. I liked Ayanda. And Chad Kumalo. Remember Chad? He's retired at age 33. Only had 20 games for us, 12 goals scored. Never really reached those heights again of the He went to Junior Brothers, Shoshanguve Sunshine, and Nkomazi Naughty Boys. Never really hit his stride at the club or anywhere in the club there. We also then had, well, there is one guy that we have to talk about. Tato Komitis, retired at 32. This man was an absolute beast for us. Never got double-digit goals again. 32 played for Arcadia Shepherds, 19 goals. Eventually retired after going to Florida Albion, Impala Warriors, and Nkomazi Naughty Boys, playing for all of those guys. And he was a good player. Very, very, very good player for us. Helped us get promoted out of the league. Another guy that I want to talk about is Jason Ngema. He was actually a very good, underutilized player for us. Only 8 appearances, though. Unfortunately, he got poached by Mzuzi King Masters, who were playing in a higher division at the time. But he was a very good unsung hero for us. So I did like him a lot. I always did like him. And we had Mugabe. Uncle Bob. You guys remember Uncle Bob? Yeah, that's Uncle Bob. Also retired at 31. Great little player. Who else did we have? Kakelo Msibi. This was the defender that changed the course of action for us. Still playing for Arcadia. I must have missed him. Age 29, 135 appearances, 2 goals for Arcadia Shepherds. Fantastic little centre-back in all aspects of the game. And then we go Neo Beloy. You guys remember Neo? Good centre-back. Him and his non-brother, Edward Beloy. Great signings. We'll find those guys because they weren't signed. They were just chilling in the, in the clubhouse around. And no one really asked that Sean. Then our last season with them, we brought in Gerald and Kosi. We had Kevin, Beko Molloy. Where's Karabo Mbaso? He was with Kelly's though, wasn't he? And I'm sure he was with Arcadia. There he is. There's the man, the myth, the legend, playing still at Kelly's. We did buy him for Kelly's. 71 goals, 136 appearances for Pretoria Kelly's. We'll talk more about him when we move there and have a look at how we ran up that side. That was my last real season with him because these are all players that I didn't sign. Where is Edward Beloy? Well, we found him. This is a little bit sad. Retired at the age of 23. That's a bit sad. I'm not sure why he retired. It doesn't say, but he didn't have the best of time at Zone Mavo. He was sold eventually. Only played 3 games in his last season. Okay, he was a staple for us. He really was. Solid defender, solid young defender. Unfortunately, he did get sold. But with that being said, currently in the Motsepe League, we don't have it loaded. I took it off. Remember, it glitched out. But they haven't really made it back anywhere in the top 3, at least for the last 5 seasons, or 4 seasons. So there's that, unfortunately. But we do move on now in our second club when we decided to change things up. We did become a multi-club, like journeyman almost situation, the quest to get to the Hall of Fame. We took over Pretoria Kelly's. We managed to get them into the Premier League, DStv Premier League. And yeah, we got them there. We got them into the winning the National First Division, winning the Motsepe ABC League. We didn't do that, though, I won't lie. But we did win the National League to get into the Premier League. They did drop after 1 season, but made it back into the Premier League. So shout out to them. We actually didn't make it to the... We did. We actually qualified to the Premier League, but then it glitched out. But yeah, that was Pretoria Kelly's. We can have a look at their current squad. Let's see if we recognize any of these players. We know Karabo Mbaso is still there. Anyways, there's Karabo Mbaso. We can have a look at his history. I mean, he has just been absolutely fantastic for Kelly's. You can see we got promoted there, and then we signed him on for free permanently, but we never got to play those games because they glitched out for 2 seasons. You can see there, we just literally didn't play a single game, and then all of a sudden we got relegated. Had to come back. But 200 appearances in total, 120 goals. This man is an icon for the club. Anybody else? I didn't actually look at the icons. Keenan Daniels was a guy that I had in the team as well. Good centre-back, solid little centre-back. Yet to play for South Africa. That's it, really, hey? Didn't see anybody else that I recognize. Hectic. But you can see, Siviso Mbinda. This guy was good. We picked him up for a good bargain. I remember him as well. Icon of the game. David Ndlovu, don't recognize him. Good player, good striker. Must have recognized him. We must have bought him. Yeah, must have played for me a little bit. Must have come and played. I must remember him, David Ndlovu. He was that youngster that never played that much and was always sort of on the cusp. That's who he is. That's exactly who he is, David Ndlovu. Let's have a look at their transfers. Well, I'm going back too far. Let's look at their transfers history. We can have a look. That's where we were. Any guys that I'm reminded of? Kolani. Kolani. One of the best goalkeepers in South African history. This man, he's playing in Europe. Is he? Yeah. Playing in Germany, in Belgium. The Pro League. Well done, Kolani. Ade. 9 caps for South Africa as well. Beautiful, man. This guy was so good. We brought him in to help us get promoted. 30 appearances, 27 conceded. That is great. Even the Premier League, 29 played, 28 conceded. He was a very, very, very good goalkeeper. I liked him. James Sithole was another one that I liked a lot. A good, solid midfielder. He's been on a bit of a journey as well. Currently playing in Portugal, which is nice to see. Went to Greece for a bit. Went to Czechia a little bit. Got 100,000 for him at Pretoria Cali. He's only played 4 games in the Premiership, but we had him for the National Division, where he really set his mark. I was a little bit disappointed with the Pretoria Cali's one. You know, I wanted someone long-term project that we could have worked on. Unfortunately, that didn't work out too well. What else do we have here? Katlego Sithole, he's retired. Tao was also retired. I remember Tao. Andile Mabata. This guy was a good centre-back for us, playing now at Tuks. Oh, he's on a free transfer, actually, now at the moment. And Mkhipi was, he's also retired now, and Tumelo Brown. A lot of guys are retired. Wandile Naidu retired. And then our last season, when I tried to sign a couple of foreign players, never really worked out because it just glitched. We had a couple of, like, I think there was 2 Kazakhstani guys coming in here. We can't check them out because they've all retired. But then we did leave Pretoria Cali's, and we landed up going to Switzerland. We managed to get Switzerland promoted. I'm even under as their favorite personnel. Not an legend who got them promoted to the first division, but that's fine. None of these 2 guys are my favorite key players under my regime. Can have a look at their first team, if there's anyone still left. It does not look like it. Locksteiner is still there. Although not for long. He looks like there's a bid on him. But he was always the hot prospect when I was there. Doesn't look like much has happened since then. Really, they've sold everyone that we've actually bought for Thun. Of course, you can just check their overview. We took them over when they were sitting down in 7th place, around there in the first league. Second season, we managed to get up to 1st, and then we haven't looked back since they're, in fact, winning the Super League as well in my final season with them. It was an absolutely amazing little opportunity for us. And recently coming as far as 2nd, so they're getting back in there. They also won the Schweizer Cup in 2034. Well, good for them. That's the one thing I couldn't win, hey, was the Schweizer Cup. 2 years after I left, they won it. So good on them. Good on them. Danielson Barros, I bought him. I remember him. He was a good player for us, 1.3 million. He's actually been a very good, solid player for Thun. Can I have a look at their transfers? So these are the ones that I brought in towards the end of the season. Luis Carlos Pacencia. We need to talk about Luis Carlos here. He has been an absolute revelation for Thun when we brought him in. His first proper season with us, scoring 10 goals. Dropped off a little bit and sort of recovered that form back at St. Gallen. But for 190,000, selling him for 5.5 million is absolute bargain for them. Jerome Houghton, the young Canadian that we brought in to sort of build up, never really worked out nicely for the club. Did go to PSG eventually for 250,000. At that time was a record transfer, by the way. Playing for PSG too. Did he have any games? He had three games for PSG's first team, which is nice. I think went for free to Nancy. which is sad, I guess. Who else did we have? We had Nendenik. I don't remember him. Caccini, I don't remember. Clement Smith, I do remember him. I didn't buy him. He was in the club when I came in. He was a good little right back for us. And Bodson is the one that they brought in, a backup goalkeeper who I never, ever used in his time. It just wasn't a good goalkeeper. And then, of course, we've got to talk about Peter Melhouse. This man is, in my opinion, a Thun legend. Bought him for 1.7 million and came straight into the first team. Of course, when we left, his time sort of started running out a little bit, but he was such a good player. Such a good player. We then came in the next season where we made a big splash, and we got to talk about it. He's currently at Man City. He's transfer listed. He was once upon a time listed as a top 50 wonder kid. The first ever wonder kid that I ever had in the top 50 was Renan. We then landed up selling him for a huge amount in terms of £10 million. We bought him for 7,000, sold him for 10 million. That is absolutely insane. Played a couple of games for Man City. 21, 23, 31 games for Man City, and now they just don't want him anymore. I suppose in grand scheme of things, he's not exactly Premier League quality player. I don't think he's a bad player at all. Anyone else? Let's have a look here. Ponsasek, I remember him. He was decent little centre-back. Never really got the best out of him, though. Was always hoping to just have that extra little oomph in there. Oliver Renier, a striker that came into his own right towards the end of my time at Thun. You can see the first game was okay. Second and third game became really, really good. Eventually sold him off for 8 million to Benfica. Enya Ferrari, one of the best opening seasons we've ever seen. Coming into the squad, didn't think much of him, and then boom, 32 games, 6 goals, 10 assists. Absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, they sold him as soon as I left. He was sent on loan to Czechia. And then, yeah, pretty much that was the writing in the wall. That was done and dusted. He was out of the door. And we got to talk about Arriagada, playing in Everton in Chile now, gone back home, 28 years of age. Brilliant little player for us. 14 goals in his first season. Dropped off a little bit because Renier came into the squad. But he had those 2 long-term injuries, if you guys remember. Taking down. And then we got to talk about my little golden boy himself, Shadid Raza. Moved him to Portugal when I moved to Porto, and we just basically took the entire squad away from them. But picked him up for free in 2030-31. Brilliant player. Oh, man. What would have been this guy? What would have been? He could have been something so much more special. Unfortunately, just didn't develop as much as I thought he would. In our final season at Thun, we did bring in Theo Martial, who did very well for us in the beginning part of that first season that I brought him in. 22 played, 4 goals, 1 assist. A good, solid left back. Did have a long-term injury. There's Danielson Barrosia. I did bring him in. Tiwani was another one. Mashlungu was another one. Luca Blackman was another. And then Harry Lettinen, the goalkeeper that won us the league title. Moved to Real Betis for 11.25 million. Fantastic little goalkeeper. He won us that title, I feel. I still say it to this day. If it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have won that title. From this season, though, nothing really else, stood in our way or stood anything. We then did move to Porto in an attempt to get some proper Champions League football. And you know what? It was... I'm listed as a favorite person. I should really be an icon for Porto. I won 3 back-to-back Liga Portugals. Look at that. 2033. Well, I won 2. I suppose Klopp won the other one. No, I won all 3. Did I win? No, I didn't win all 3. I've been at Liverpool for 2 years, so I won 29-30. That's what I won. When did I come to Porto? Hold on. Yes, I've been 2 seasons at Liverpool. The 2034 is when I left Porto, and according to this, I won it in 33 and 34. There you go. Okay, so I won it twice in a row for them. Still something. It's still something. Unfortunately, Klopp did get the honor of winning the. It was the Europa, or no, it wasn't one of those. They've never won. Was it the conference? No, they haven't won any trophy. Okay, cool. He just won a title. But anyway, we then moved to Porto a couple of years ago. We talk about some of my players that I brought in. I see a few of them are listed under favorite personnel. We'll talk about Tarek Dlamani. Absolutely love this man. If I could bring him into Liverpool, I would. Right now, just unfortunately, we don't use an attacking midfielder, and he's not really great on the left-hand side. But you can see he is an absolute beast of a man. 20, 32, 33, 11 goals, 14 assists. Played him as a youngster. They weren't giving him his chance. Elijah van der Meer has been moved into favorite personnel. There was a lot of question marks over when I signed him from Feyenoord for 16.5 million. Was basically signed him as a backup to Escobar, if you guys remember that, and turned out to be one heck of a player to replace Barco, who we'll talk about in a bit. And I see Federico Dezan, who we bought in my final season at Porto, coming in, 15 goals, 5 assists in his first game. Started off hard. Last season, not as great, but he's listed as favorite personnel. We can look at the icons here. We had Emmanuel Emega is under the icon, finally retired after moving to Saudi Arabia from Ajax. Having a good little run there. Always a bit of our utility guy. He was always just in and around, just chilling there. Then we got to talk about Lucas Mash playing for Man City now, moving to Man City for 38 million. Picked him up for 8 million from Slavia Praha. Absolute beast of a left back, and getting 30 million profit on him is actually very, very good. Herman Figueroa, of course, we sold him to Barcelona in my final season. 82 million is what we got for him. Absolutely fantastic player in his own right, and still continuing that at Barcelona at the moment. And then we got to talk about one of my other players that I had brought up in Thiago Almeida. Of course, came from the youth system, we took him over, added him to just a hell of a lot of games, and he has just been absolutely brilliant. I can see why he is listed as an icon. Got to talk about Valentin Barco as well, still playing his football out in Saudi Arabia for 550,000 a week. You can see when we sold him to Tottenham, he kind of dropped off. That first season in which we had him in, that 29, played 10 goals, 9 assists, 4 man of the matches. Never been able to replicate that sort of season that he had with us at Porto. Played him in a role that he wasn't familiar in. I saw the vision, saw where we were going, and we absolutely decimated the position on that left-hand side. In terms of players that are still at the squad that they have, they're going with Sagawa. He's still there. Duarte is still there. Rosas is new. Rotor is still there, chilling. Escobar, Lukic, never knew him. Mbile, Henderson, Buenovaz, man. Buenovaz, I love this man. Such good prospect. Still could develop a little bit more. Just don't think he's great. Pavlos Kate is one man that I wouldn't mind bringing to Liverpool to play as a centre mid, as a regista. I think he could be very, very good. He is wanted currently by Inter, so there is some interest in him on the top flight football. Of course, we spoke about Dezan and Shadid Raza. Almeida, Rui Pedro dos Neves did have a couple of good seasons with us as a backup right back. There is one man that I'm trying to look for. There he is, Florian Diaz. Probably one of the best goalkeepers in the game at the moment. Hasn't played a game for Porto. I think he had a long-term injury. Of course, the season actually just started, but you can see he has just been a fantastic goalkeeper. He is still available. How much is he actually worth? Well, Walamia. How much would they want for him? He's not interested in joining Liverpool. 48 to 70 million. Okay. Anyway, he was there. Of course, Beedling. We've made an offer for Beedling. We're still waiting to know if we're going to find out that one. And we got to talk about Pedro Lisboa. Of course, Lisboa. We had very high hopes for him in the squad. Really figured he'd have like a good breakthrough season. And, you know, after his loan spell at Porto, I thought this is the time. Played him 14 games. Didn't really shine as much as I hoped he would. We sent him to the B team for a couple of seasons. Came back into the first team with Dazan. Picked up 7 goals and then slowly but surely faded away into obscurity. Remember Amir? That one little season we had him, that I had him, actually did quite well. Where's Moya? Did they sell Moya? Yeah, they did sell Moya. Remember we saw him in Barcelona, actually, last season when we played. Yeah. This man is good, isn't he? He is a very, very good midfielder. 93 million is what Klopp got for him. Absolutely fantastic player. Really, he is a good player. Like, just look at him. Right, well, those are the clubs we're at. Let's have a look at my little history. We can have a look at the job history as we started off, just how we ran up. So, just like I said, in 2023 to 24, we took over Arcadia Shepherds. That was the plan, to get us to the Premiership. Unfortunately, we just could never crack that thing. We did win one trophy with him, the regional leagues with Arcadia Shepherd, which is amazing. We then had a 2-year stunt at Pretoria Callies, winning the national division in our first attempt with the Callies, getting them promoted to the Premiership, where the game glitched out. We then decided to move to Switzerland, take on the Challenge of Thun in our first season, winning the Disci Challenge League, getting promoted to the Swiss League, coming in third, but winning Manager of the Year that year. And then the second attempt, Manager of the Year, and then also winning the Swiss Super League. Fantastic result. And then you can see under Porto, where we really, really shone and get on the stage of the main events. You can see here, 20, 32, 33. We're winning Manager of the Month 6 times. There's all 6 of them. And then 2 trophies in our first season, winning the Liga Portugal Baltic and the Taça de Portugal. It was 2 Taça Portugals for our first season. I don't know how that worked. FC Porto, winning 6 times Manager of the Month and a Manager of the Year trophy as well, somewhere in between there. And then winning the Liga Portugal, Aliança Cup, Vodafone Cup. It's just giving me all 3 competitions. I don't know why. We won the treble that year, local treble. 2 cup competitions and the league. And then in our final season with Porto, it didn't end it. We still had 3 Manager of the Month awards and a Manager of the Year award. We then moved to Liverpool, where in our first season, took them from a 14th up to 8th to get us there. In our second season, finishing just shy of the Premier League in second place, winning Manager of the Month 2 months. And then, of course, in that season, winning the Carabao Cup and the Europa Conference League. It's actually got them there listed like that. That's why I kept seeing 3 or 2. There we go. So winning 2 trophies in our first season in Liverpool. Hopefully we can move on there. We can have a look at the manager timeline. It is a very long timeline to look at, but you can just have a quick little investigation in this. Pulani Hendricks. Remember Pulani Hendricks. 52 appearances, 18 goals for Arcadia Shepherds. Brilliant little player. Now I want to go through all of this again and have a real proper look at what we did here. Ayanda Peterson, remember him? Zayn Mashlangu. 43 goals was set as a new record low, by the way. That's when we were struggling the very first season. Sol Chad Kumalo. Oh, this is actually really good. You guys can have a look through this and go slowly through it. Some good memories down this road, isn't it? That's when we left Arcadia Shepherds and joined Pretoria Callies. And then we got 100 matches in management. We beat City Rovers 3-1 in that little man there. Beating the likes of Amazulu in the Nedbank Cup, which was great. Beating the likes of Chippa United in the Nedbank Cup. Winning the National League as well, which is great. And setting a club record of 16 matches in a row. And then it just basically, the game just bugged out there, guys. It was really bad. Moved to Thun. First season. Yeah, there. Raphael Campbell. Remember Raphael Campbell, guys. What a player. Currently playing for Will. This man he was so good for us in such a short period of time. Really did shine quite a bit. Where was I now? There we go. Fantastic player. Really is. We got through to the next league. People didn't think we were going to stay there, but we managed to stay in the league. Got 200 games with the victory over Grasshoppers. Good victory for them. I remember that one, actually. And Harry Letterman made an instant tactic, winning goalkeeper of the year. We won the Super League. was inducted into the Hall of Fame in South Africa, which is part of the goal. We're going to have a look at the Hall of Fame, see how far we are from there. Left, Thune joined Porto, spent 140 million in my first season at Porto, got 169 million for Porto, and then hit the 300 mark. Unfortunately, the 300 was a loss against Chelsea. Not ideal in getting knocked out in there. We did set a new points record in the league, and we just set a whole bunch of records in the Portuguese league. We really just dominated anything and everything. Our 400th game was a victory over Firenze, 4-0 in charge. I also became the manager of England. And with that being said, we have joined Liverpool, setting a record for the fewest goals scored in a season with just 61 goals. We took them from a 14th spot, brought them up to where we were at this point, with Lamine Yamal winning FIFA Best Men's Player of the Year, and of course winning the World Soccer Magazine World's Player of the Year. Lamine Yamal was, in fact, great. We then decided to just go on a massive winning spree. 500 matches in charge, was a draw against West Ham. Lamine Yamal helping us, and eventually winning the Conference League, and Scott Carson made a Liverpool return as goalkeeping coach. That is now the biggest highlight of the current career for us. We can have a look at the Hall of Fames now. Just with the Hall of Fame, remember, I have played this game on different saves, so it does save each save individually for that. So we'll find the right one. We can start off with nationality. South Africa, you can see I'm the third best South African manager in the world, just behind Pitso Masimane and Rulani Mokoena. Not that far off Pitso, by the way, who, where is he currently? He's in Al Ahly, is he? Where is he? Is he managing? He's not managing anymore, he's retired. Rulani is still managing, though. He is currently unemployed. Nice. He left Al Ahly. Okay, he was following Pitso Masimane's thing. But you can see there, 8 domestic titles to 6, 13 cups to 3, 1 other trophy. We've got the same as that. So we're not that far off. It is this one. This is the other one I did when I did the Man United resave on my own. But here we go. This one is where you can see all our trophies and everything we've won. Currently, 3rd best manager in the world, in South Africa. In terms of the nation, we're quite far behind in England terms, where we're currently at. Only sitting in 64th place. Can have a look at Portugal. We were so close for Portugal to break the top 10. Could have passed Sven-Goran Eriksson if we maybe stayed one more season in Portugal. Switzerland. We have to be in the top 10. No, we're not even near the top 10 in Switzerland. Only had 2 seasons there, so I suppose maybe if I stayed a little bit longer, we could have been the likes of Rafael Wiki. I don't know. And then we had a look at South Africa, didn't we? That's the only other leagues I played in, hey? Yeah. It should be the same. I'm just double checking. No. South Africa in the league, only 38. So as a manager, okay, I suppose the South African nationality adds everything in there. But we didn't do much in South Africa. Let's be completely honest there. On the continent, we are quite far behind, catching the likes of Ernest Happel. But you know what? We're on the right direction. We're on the right direction. We just need a little bit more oomph. And of course, worldwide, we can have a look at that. I don't know why we need to look at that, but we're far. We're very far. I just noticed Martin Di Michelis is there for River Plate. Oh, this man, 55 years of old. I mean, I remember him playing football. He's only managed River Plate. That's when we were still playing. And then he became the manager in 2023 and entered the Hall of Fame immediately. I suppose he's won 19 domestic titles, 10 cups, and 8 other trophies. In comparison to us, we're only on 6-3-1. So we need to get a win. We need to get a win in, guys. We need a Premier League. We need a Champions League. We need a bunch of trophies. This is the team that's going to do it. Oh, continue by accident. The Liverpool team is where we're at. That's what we need to do. Just having another quick at my profile, you can see how we've developed as a manager. I don't know why the determination is so low, but I'm quite determined to actually win football games. But everything else is pretty darn good in terms of our basic building up. I mean, everything was on 1 when I started. In terms of languages, I speak Afrikaans, apparently. Sotho, apparently. Also, apparently. English, I do speak. German, apparently. Fluent. Italian, fluent. I suppose playing in Switzerland. Portuguese, fluent. And basic Zulu. So, never learned my Zulu, but at least I know my Sotho and Xhosa. Being from Gauteng, apparently, you learn Xhosa. Don't know. I don't know. Currently 47 years old. Of course, I have till the age of 65, so we still have a lot of time in terms of the league. I'm hoping by March, end of March, April, we can at least make some proper headway going in there. Question is, though, do we go for another 100 episodes, or will it be less than that? You guys will have to tune in and find out. Thank you so much for tuning in this retrospect of what's happened over the last 100 days, at least, in the Vuvuzela Victory Challenge. It's time for more football, though. Well, there you have it, folks. Absolutely appreciate every single one of you guys watching. 100 episodes of any series is amazing to watch. The fact that I've sat down at my computer 100 times to record for you guys is like my mind is blown on that I actually made this happen. Huge thank you to every single one of you guys. Appreciate it. Keep liking videos, keep commenting on videos, keep watching the videos. Thoroughly appreciate every single one of you guys. And you know what? As I always say, tell your friends, parents, grandparents, lovers, and haters to join in on the fun of the Vuvuzela Victory Challenge. Get them to subscribe, get them to take part, get them to enjoy the FM Manager videos. We've got a lot more coming up. Of course, we need to get to that Hall of Fame. We need to. We absolutely need to. And I feel like Liverpool might be the answer to get us there. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you so much, guys. From me, your boy, the Vuzslap, for the 100th time. Peace. Chicken grease.